Welcome back to Apex Investor. This is the update for the week of July 12 to 19. The week of 12 to 19. So we're going to begin with some new stocks. We have some solar energy related stocks. One in particular dropped 55% today. I actually bought some just to test it out, not as a serious investment, just want to test the waters out. So let's look at two in particular. There's one called Run. This one looks somewhat promising. I wouldn't say it's a must buy or anything like that. It's more of a wait and see kind of stock. But they are both solar power stocks related to solar energy. Not that they're powered by the sun, but the companies are. So we have a 52-week range of $8 to $22 for this. So this is out of my range right now, but let's look at support and resistance for this stock. So we can see a clear trend, $8.84. We have a $9 mark there, $9.50. So it looks like support is 8. Exactly there, 884 to 950. That's your support. If you look at the 5-year chart, it stayed relatively level, but has not. 836 could even go as low as 836. But for the short to long term, actually short to mid term, we're looking at around 880, let's say 950 at the most for support. And resistance is looking like $20. And then we have another 17 to 20. So pick this up if you want to invest in solar energy or if you're very bullish on that. If you are bullish in solar, buy Run, Sunrun Incorporated, ticker symbol RUN at 950 or lower, and you want to sell at 17 and above. And that's almost, what is that, 100%? It's about 100%. Oh, not 100%. That's about 50% from $9 to 18. Or is that 100? Because you're doubling your money. I don't see it going right back up to these levels. These are levels. That's when it was really the market was more positive back then. I don't see that happening anytime soon. Although anything could happen. Let's just look at the maximum chart. This has been in business for close to over 10 years now, since 2015. It's been trading for about 10 years. So I think that's where it will trade. Now looking at the rival, the one that dropped 50% today, 55 to be exact, was Sun Power Corporation, ticker symbol SPWR. This came to my attention from the trending stocks on the Yahoo Finance app. So if I go there right now, you'll see it was one of the top trending stocks in terms of negatively, because it was negatively trending. We're going to look at a very promising stock after this one, and it shot up over 100% today. So let's look at this one before we move on. We can see it just had a free fall from $2.50, and I bought some at $1, which was not the best price. It could have been worse. Could have been. I could have bought in. Actually, yeah, I could have bought in at $1.13, and then when I went to $1, I thought, hey, maybe there's some hope. When I looked at the 5-year chart, but no, it dropped lower and lower, as low as 60, 66, 67. So let's look at the 6-month. Is this going right back to $2? I don't think so right away. It might take a longer time. This could be an overreaction. I do see it going back to $1, so I might just break even on this. But don't invest in this company because I really don't see it going anywhere. It might go bankrupt. It's better to invest in the run instead of this one. This just might fold. The report is not looking good for them. If you look at the news, it says here sinks and outage. Oh no, that's okay. They haven't released their quarterly report yet. I think that's supposed to be today, the 19th to the 23rd. It's supposed to be any day now. But yeah, it's hard to say with this stock, but I don't see it going. It might go back to $1. This could be an overreaction. We'll see how if they can turn things around. So if you want to buy this, it's up to you. I don't strongly recommend it though. This is wait and see. Just watch it. I would just watch it out of entertainment. Although I did buy some. This is the stock that I actually noticed this morning when it was at $4. I was going to buy a bunch of it, but I forgot about it, and then look what happened. It went all the way up to $8.65, as high as $8.97, and I saw it at $4. So I should have jumped on it when I had that chance, but I did not. And the reason why I was going to jump on it is because the forecast, the price target for this stock is incredible. It's actually, the price target is $46, which is like a 2,000% gain. So imagine from where it was $250 to $46. That's like a tenfold jump from the $450. We'll see if their forecast is true. Maybe they're just pumping it up. Who knows? I think it's really a wait and see stock. I would wait till it goes right back down to $4 again. I don't see it sustaining this, because that's the way the stock market goes. I think it'll go down to 4, might go back up to 8. We'll see where support and resistance is, but I would wait for $4 again, $4.50 to be exact. And if this hits the target, maybe it might even just go to 10 or 20, but it's still a very promising stock. It is a robotics stock. Just read about it a little bit on the sidebar. They design, develop, and operate low-emission robots that serve people in public spaces with food delivery in the United States. And they do have connections with AI to some degree. And the big news, why this is really booming, is the most recent news described how they have some very big deals with 3 big companies. In particular, I believe it's Uber, Nvidia, and a third company. I think it's 7-Eleven. So that was why when I saw those names, I, for whatever reason, just came out of my one in one ear and out the other. But at the moment, and when I was looking at the stock, doing the initial assessment, I could feel my pulse rate going faster. I was only at $4 at that point, $4.50 to be exact. So this is when I started looking at it. I just was looking at the markets at 9:30, and it was at $4.50 when I started feeling my pulse rate go up. And I said, this could really explode. But I said, let's wait and see. So right there, 10:26 was when I was thinking, should I buy this? I think I should. But I ended up buying that other stock, the solar stock. But I did, in all transparency, I did buy some of the stock, but I bought it at the $8, which was more of a bet in terms of the forecast. Okay, if it's going to go to $46, $8 is not that bad, just to get my ticket on the train. So that's SERV Robotics, ticker symbol SERV. I don't know if the deals were mentioned. Okay, we're going to look at the rest of the stocks in my list here, and we'll look at, let's see how I did as well. $1.01. So no, it didn't do too well there. SERV, I bought that at 8.55, but we'll see how those go. Another stock that I'm looking at is Domino's Pizza. I didn't realize they had a stock. Bitcoin is up significantly. It's right back up to 90,000, 91,000 Canadian dollars. It was low as 79 or so in the last couple weeks. And I really feel like I should just invest in this stock and just forget everything else. But the risk is when Bitcoin ultimately eventually gets to 40,000 per coin again, this is going to drop and then you end up losing everything. So it's better to wait for that extreme drop, wait for the extreme support, and then, put in a little money to ride the wave, so to speak, because it goes through these little waves. Right now, the wave is the short-term support and resistance. We have support at 77, 79, 80. Resistance is looking like 91 and above. And that's the trend in the last 6 months. It's been like that. Domino's Pizza. So here's their stock. We can see it's somewhat on the lower end. In the 6-month chart, this could be a buy, but in my honest opinion, I'd rather wait for 300, even 330, even 350. 350 or lower is a good entry point, and then you can sell that around 500 above. But to be more precise, 520 and above. Because this was at 560, it was at 530, and it was at as high as 521 just a month ago. So imagine you buy that at, if we try to simplify it a little more, think of it as a $3 stock or $3.50 stock, and then you sell it for $5. So it's still significant profit. Papa John's. You know what? Let's look at Papa John's. I don't even know if that is a promising stock. I've heard a lot of good things about Papa John's pizza. I've tried it. It's a good quality pizza. The owner seems to know what he's doing. Okay, this chart doesn't make it look like he knows what he's doing. It's a rather it's a stable stock. It was as low as 50, 59. So this is a good time to buy Papa John's. Yeah, it is. This is about support. $40 is support. $40 is support. Resistance 75, 88, 126. Okay. Wow, there's actually a lot of potential with this one. I'm not sure why it is dropped. Okay, let's see why. They're telling investors to avoid. Why are they telling people to avoid Papa John's? Maybe because restaurant business is down. Is that why? So I would wait till it hits 40 to 50. And we're at 41. Oh, okay, this is a time to buy it. So I'm going to add this to the list in real time. You can see that I got rid of some portfolios there. So this is actually a good buy right now. I don't know if I have enough money to buy this stock, but you could possibly triple your money. So that actually is a very promising stock, Papa John's. So both Papa John's and the other one I was just talking about before are both Domino's. Domino's a little too expensive in my in my opinion. Let's just look at that chart one more time. I said $3 to $5. Okay, this is a much better stock than Domino's because that's only a little jump. This one's like double, at least double, if not triple. So this is on the lower end. I don't see it going back down to 12, 20, but it could. But I don't see that happening because once it shows resistance and support, this is pretty much at $33. 40 is like solid support. And then solid resistance is looking like 120 and above. But at least 90. You could even buy this now and sell it at 90. It's still a good return. Papa John's is a solid company. Okay, why should you avoid it? It's down 44.7% year to date. It outstrips the industry's overall 10% drop because there are challenges going on with the macroeconomic environment. It has been revised downward. Headwinds. Okay, let's just kind of break it down in a more simpler way. International sales were negatively impacted by the conflict. Okay, so it's an overreaction to the conflict. A cautious approach. Okay, let's see what else they have to say about Papa John's. Investors have reason to be wary. Okay, right. Didn't really give. You know what? I want to see the price target before I. Let's look at the price target, and then we'll finish up this video. So Papa John's, where is that? Papa John's is ticker symbol PZZA. Or is it PZZA? I think it's Z. I can't remember what they say in America. I think it's Z, if I'm not mistaken. So what is the price target? 1 year target, $68. So even if this is a good buy. So when did it drop? I'm just curious as to, okay, so it dropped to 40 just in the last week. So this is a strong buy right now. So we've just identified for you a really strong buy in the market. A new one just in real time in this video, because I did not know about the stock until I started recording. So I'm grateful for that. And then we can see resistance just in the last year. Expect it to go to at least 80 plus, even 100. Look, it's been at 98, 100. It was here sitting at 120 for a long time, from September, actually even before that, July. From July to February, that's over 6 months being over $100. And we've seen multiple times that it hit $90. So you'll double your money with this. There you go. Easy trade. That's an easy trade. That's easy. Papa John's. Thank you, Papa John's. You could just say thank you, Papa John's, after you make double your money. Okay, next is okay, nothing to say about these other stocks because they didn't really move too much besides this one here, MicroStrategy. I want to just look at that because that is the better one between Coinbase and MicroStrategy, which is kind of strange because Coinbase has more Bitcoin in its bank, in its vault. I believe they are the holder of the most Bitcoin in North America, or is it MicroStrategy? I'm not sure. I think it's Coinbase. So let's look at the 6 month. Buy at 1,000, 1,200, 1,000 to 1,200. If you believe in that, this is just going to keep going on and on. It'll never drop below 1,000. But we know Bitcoin does drop a lot when it does drop, so that could be a very high risk trade. So it's best to do the Apex Investor thing, which is extreme long-term trading with Bitcoin, because look at it this way, folks, okay? Let's say you buy 10 shares, okay, at 1,000 or 1,200. So that's about $10,000 or 12,000, depending on when you buy that. And then you would only go up, 400, 500? Let's just say you go up 500. So 500 times 10, that's $5,000. So you can risk all that money, $12,000, and you only make about half of it. But if it goes down to, let's say, 400 or worse, you're going to go from 10,000, right, all the way down to 4,000. You're going to lose half your money just because you were greedy. So it's better to wait, because let's look at it this way, right? You can either gain just a little bit or lose a lot more, or you can be disciplined, do it the Apex Investor way, just for this stock, just to be safe, unless you have money to burn. And this is not what this channel's for, just burning money. Unless you just put a small bet, like a $50 bet, like what I did with that solar power stock. So let's say you buy at 400, okay, because I'm forecasting Bitcoin to drop to 40 grand, which would be this stock at around 400, 450, something like that. So you buy $10,000 worth, or let's just say 1,000. Okay, let's say 10,000, right? 10,000. And so we're getting just about 2 shares of the stock. And then that's 2 times 10. So that's 20 shares, right? You're getting 20 shares of MicroStrategy. And then it's going to go up by at least 1,000. So what is that? 20 times 1,000. That's $20,000. You're doubling your money. Instead of getting half or just getting a little bit, you're getting a lot. You're going to get a lot more if you just wait. Yeah, it's going to take a while. It might take a few years. It might take 2 years to get back down to that level. But if you risk it all, or just risk a little bit, but if you risk it all, and I advise you don't, if you risk it all, risk it when it's at the lowest point. Risk it at the lowest point, $400 and lower. And then you're going to maximize your profits. So I'm trying to simplify it here in this channel and maximize the profits. Okay, what else to say about MicroStrategy? Yeah, they're a very strong stock, but it is based on Bitcoin. That's one of the drawbacks. But another benefit to MicroStrategy is that they are doing a 10-for-1 split. So for every 1 share you have, you're going to get 10 after the split in August. But it's not the same situation as, say, NVIDIA, or the most recent one that happened with the other AI stock, which I can't remember the name of right now. Let me just look at it on the list. AVGO, Broadcom. It's not like Broadcom or NVIDIA, where expect it to go up and it's going to be stable. But because it's tied to Bitcoin, it's a lot more volatile. So MicroStrategy is one of the best stocks in the stock market, but you have to wait for Bitcoin to drop, because right now we're in the high period, and we don't know how long that will last. It might end this fall. Who knows? Maybe there's going to be a recession announced. We don't know. And then Bitcoin will drop, and then Bitcoin will rise, and Bitcoin will drop. But you have to understand and recognize that where is support, where is resistance. That's so important, especially in Bitcoin and especially in MicroStrategy. So I'm thinking 400 and below is your buy entry point, and then your selling off point. It's going to go right back up. It might even hit 2,000, to be honest. I think it's going to go to 2,000, so it's best to wait. Buy it at 400, 500, and let's say you get 2 shares. You put in 10,000, so 2 times 10 is 20, and then it goes all the way up to 2,000. That's what, 1,500? So 1,500 times 20, that's 30 grand. You're going to make 30 grand off of 10 grand. Okay, so that's MicroStrategy. We're gonna close that tab, look at the rest of the stocks, and just talk about what's going on with these stocks. Okay, I was gonna say Donkey Kong, but DraftKings still not a buy. QuantumScape is relatively stable. It did hit a high of $9 and just over $9. I was thinking, should I sell? But I know there's a lot more potential with the stock because of the positive news that recently came out, and I think it's only going to ride that wave. It's not going to go right back down. I don't see it going right back down to $5 and below, unless they just try to ride that good news for 5 years. Then yeah, it will drop. It will drop if they assume they're going to ride that positive vibe, the positive emotions from the investors. They can't wait out forever and not come up with the products, with the results. So that should that should come out in the next year or two. But if they prolong it longer than a year, longer than 2 years, then the stock will drop again. They they cannot afford to just wait and not reveal or release another very positive press release or another exclusive deal with another car company. Maybe one of those other auto manufacturers jump ship from their whatever deal they were doing and join the QuantumScape ship, because the other companies don't have the same amount of testing and quality assurance. So yeah, it did hit 9. Said let me just look at the chart. $9.15, $9.17, $9.24. So it was above $9. So if you want to sell now, it's up to you. If you bought it at $4, like I said to buy it, $4 or $5. Yeah, who knows? If maybe I'll sell half. I don't know, and then wait for it to drop to 5 again. Who knows? But really depends on the management what they decide to do. Because if we look at the news, they haven't really had any good news since the last report. It was 8 days ago. So they can't just sit on that. That would be a mistake. Timing of second quarter webcast. So they're going to have a webcast where they're going to release the 2024 business results. So maybe that's the next thing to look forward to. The earnings call transcript. Okay. So I think the stock dropped on the recent quarterly, but then it went up based on the news. It will release its second quarter after July 24th. Okay, so that is still coming up. So depending on that, that might be the time to sell and then buy it back again, because I notice stocks tend to drop after the quarterly, no matter whether it's good or bad. For whatever reason, there's a lot of hype and then it drops right after. But we'll wait and see. But QuantumScape is a great stock as it stands. Lithium ion, that's actually pretty good stock too. Lucid, not really anything to mention. BlackBerry is just kind of flatlining right now. The DJT stock really went up significantly on Monday as a result of the attempt on unaliving the former president on Saturday. Grocery outlet is, let's take a look at that chart as well. Kodak, nothing to say there. Beyond Meat, we're going to talk about that one. Inovio, nothing to say there. Nvidia, I want to just look at that because don't lose heart, and same thing with Broadcom, don't lose heart. Those will go right back up. Costco, I want to look at that just really shortly, briefly. And I think that's about it. Nothing else to mention. Oh, this one is a good stock, but it's a little too expensive. The cheaper option is the SERV one, the one we mentioned at the beginning of this video. And then you got the meme stocks. So I think that's all to mention. We're going to look at those tabs. I think we've got a number of them, but between ISRG is a great stock. I would buy it if I had the money, but this is the one for people who are trying to build their wealth, and then you can buy ISRG when you can afford it at a low price. So SERV is like the cheap ISRG. Okay, so let's look at the rest. So Li Auto, this is getting a little lower, but resistance is $40. You can see that it was at 45 just in February. And support is $17, $18. So we are close to that. You can buy that. It's a pretty safe price. $14 is like the apex investor price, $14, $15. 14 to 18.35. Yeah, we're getting really close to the $18. So 14 to 18, that's your price, entry point. 14 to 18 for LI Auto Chinese electric vehicle company, and it's probably the only Chinese company I can recommend. And the resistance, sell this at 40. Look at the chart, 45, 40. We've got 3. 3 times it hit 40. Third time's a charm. There's actually 4 in the last 2 years. So it's going to hit 40. It's just a matter of time. Most likely in the next 2 years, it's going to hit 40 again. So double your money with LI Auto. There you go. So we've got 2 really good stocks. The Papa John's one, then LI Auto. And then the SERV, that's a great stock if it does deliver on the $40 price target. 40 plus price target. So let's look at the last 5 days. You can see actually on Friday it closed at 30. It opened at 41, went to 42 on Monday. And I heard some things about how some people were shorting the stock massively, but it didn't work out in their favor. That's really sketchy. So I'm gonna close that. What's the price target? No price target. This one is very volatile depending on what happens in the election. So I would wait and see. But support is 22 to 27. And resistance is 45. No, not 45. It's 50. It's 50. But it's very volatile just depending on the election and whatever happens in the future. I would probably steer clear because of what happened on Saturday. You never know what is going to happen in America. Grocery outlet. Okay, so we're looking at support at 1973. And it's a little out of my range. I did buy some earlier, but $19.77, so $20 and below is your support. Your resistance is 40. Look at the 5-year. 40 and above. So it might take 2-3 years to hit 40, but it will. It is a grocery stock. Grocery is one of the most essential businesses in existence, is grocery, food. Beyond Meat, not as essential, but it is food related, and it did hit support. It finally hit support today, and I picked up a bunch of shares. I think I picked up 100 shares. I bought a bunch at 610 and then another bunch at 601, or I think I'm averaging 601. I can't remember the average price that I bought, but I bought at support. I practiced what I preached finally, and I know the stock is going to go to at least $8. So what's that? 2 times 100, that's $200. It might go to 9 if you're feeling really bullish about this. If you look at the 1 year, it did hit 10 as recently as February, and then it was at $10 December. Look at the 5-year. I don't see it going up to these levels. That is enormous. I don't think it's going back up to that. We have to be a little more conservative. I think it might hit $10. Let's look at the 1 year one more time. So we can clearly see support at $6 and below, and resistance is clearly 9 to 10. If you want to play it safe, maybe $8. 8 and below, or 8 to 10. 8 to 10 is your exit point. Entry point is pretty much now. Is 610 and below, or just right about here, even 620 if you wanted. So little money to be made there. Pretty stable stock, pretty good company. And they have a lot of business with vegans and deals with restaurants. Although some fell through, they're still in demand, especially with the rising prices of meat, which is a luxury food now. In the last 4 years, it's become more and more expensive. Okay, I'm going to look at NVIDIA and see what is going on with this, because we all thought it's going to go to like 200. I think the price target indicated 133. There you go. That's the price target. Now, AI is the booming sector. It really is the new internet in a way. It's going to influence and change the world forever. might even take over the world and get rid of us. But if we look at the support, it is, if I'm really being honest, 70 to 80, even 70 to 90, using the Apex Investor kind of method. 70 to 90 is really your support. And the resistance, there is no resistance with this one because, I mean, it looks like 130. That's what it looks like. But because NVIDIA is still growing, 135, it's not really not resistance. I see it going to 200 plus. Probably will split again in the next 5-10 years. So this is really this is an extremely long-term investment. You should just forget it. Just lock it up. Lock up your shares and don't look at them again for the next 10 years. Because look at this growth. It just keeps growing every 10 years. It's if we look at 99, 4 cents, right? Let's look at 2009. It was at 4 cents, remember. It's 2009, there it is. 21 cents. And then 21 cents, let's look at 2019. From 21 cents to $5, and then look at the next 5 years, $5 to 100. Okay, I know that it went through a stock split, but still, that's why this is a long-term play. We can't go by a month-to-month basis, unless you don't believe in NVIDIA, and I strongly believe in their potential. It is this company, Broadcom, I'm not very bullish in. I actually can't wait to sell this stock and just reinvest in NVIDIA. So 180 is the resistance, and the forecast is 194. So hopefully we hit that level, 194. Let's look at the growth for this. It's been in business for quite a while too. I think since 2009. So let's look at the 5-year evolution. 171, and then 2014. This was at $7, and then you go to 2019, $30. And then now, look, it just exploded. It's just a trajectory to the moon. So you can hold both if you want. It's up to you, but I'm more bullish on NVIDIA. Market cap 732, and I believe NVIDIA's is in the trillions, if I'm not mistaken. 732 billion. Let's look at NVIDIA's market cap just to verify. I think it's over $1 trillion, if I'm not mistaken. 2.97 trillion. So that's one of the biggest companies in the internet, period, in the stock market. It's almost like its own country if you think about it. Okay, the last one is Costco. So I did buy some Costco, the stock that is, at $8.50, somewhere about thereabouts, like $8.51. Because I thought this is going to go right back up to 900 and 1,000, eventually split. And this is a long-term play as well, just like NVIDIA, just like Broadcom. Imagine buying Costco way back in 86 at $9. And then actually it's not as good as NVIDIA, but still you can see this exponential growth. Okay, one last review, and then we're going to close this video out. So what did we learn today? We learned about some new stocks. We looked at Papa John's, which is a much better investment than Domino's, which I probably should delete, but we'll just keep an eye on that. We found out about Sunrun, which is an interesting investment, way better one than SunPower, which unfortunately I did buy some of their stock. And then we found out one of the most promising stocks besides NVIDIA is actually this one right here, SERV Robotics. The price target is above $40, from $250 to above $40. And then we didn't look at this one. Nothing to talk about, at least today anyway. AMD is a good stock, but just not at that price. And I looked at the 5-year, looked at the 10-year. It's still not going to yield the same percentage gains as the other stocks we look at on this channel. Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, probably the best investment you can ever make in all of the stock market, but it does take patience. requires a strategy, pun intended. DraftKings, nothing to say about that. QuantumScape, long-term play, but things are looking really good. You can just look at that right there, 64% gain for me personally. Lithium ion, or not lithium ion, Li Auto, Lucid, that's going to go places, but I'm waiting for the $250, $2.50 entry point, and then possibly that'll go higher. BlackBerry, that's kind of flatlining, but we'll see if it hits my $4, $5 price target. Look at Grocery Outlet, that's great. Beyond Meat, great buy right now, already up a little bit. I bought at an average of $6.06. Waiting for Tupperware to hit $1. Waiting for Inovio to hit, I think, $5 to $6. I can't remember right now. I have to look at the chart. Nvidia and AVGO, long-term holds. Same thing with Costco, long-term holds. Just lock them up and forget about them, because all the stocks will go high. But if you're worried for a market crash, then, just wait. Or just wait for the market crash and then buy then, if you want to go extreme apex investor mode. So that's all for this video. I hope that was informative. Definitely learned some things, learned about some new stocks today, and have overall a better outlook on the potential of all these stocks that I mentioned today. And whether it's good potential or bad potential, at least we have some sense of the way things are going and what markets are looking really optimistic in terms of AI, in terms of robotics, in terms of the food industries, grocery and restaurants, and so on. So thank you again if you're tuning in. Appreciate all the support. We've been doing this, I think, since 2021. So it's been like 4 years. Doesn't feel like it. I've had a lot of fun just doing this. I just like doing this in my spare time. It's one of my hobbies. Besides making money out of this, from this the stock market, it is just fun. I love numbers, love crunching numbers, like to look at box office numbers. It really started with that, and then translated into the stock market. So that's kind of like my origin story in a way. I like looking at profits and losses, and then trying to get the best deal, and then maximizing on that. And then one of the first stocks, actually the first stock I ever bought, was Nintendo, and that was before the Wii was released. And then, long story short, I think I invested, I don't know how much I invested, but I remember how much profit came from that. It was $10,000. So pretty much made all the money that I ever spent on video games, probably in my whole life, made it all back just from that one trade, buying Nintendo before the Wii came out in 2007, 2008, and sold it towards the end of its lifespan. And I'll never forget that trade. That was a great trade. And then one of the biggest trades I ever made in my life was one called Co-Diagnostics, and I bought that at, I think it was $2, sold it around $24, $30, and I went from 10,000 to 77,000. I think a lot of people saw my portfolio, 77,000 Canadian, and then it dropped. It dropped exponentially because of three stocks, in particular GameStop, AMC, and then all the tomfoolery with that, and then Meta Materials. That was the downfall of not just, it was really the downfall of a lot of things, but especially my portfolio. And now we're starting from the ground up. I have to trade smarter. Don't just invest on companies you don't know anything about. And that's kind of like a mistake I made. I might be making some mistakes here with these, but only bet when you are comfortable losing. So I don't mind. Okay, I'll lose $150, whatever. But at least I didn't put in like 1,000 or 10,000 into these, because I don't have confidence in those. Okay, so that's all. Thank you again, and check you in the next video, or see you in the next video. Not check you. I'm gonna check you, body check you.